And now we take a look at the markets, and we're joined by John Beaver, president of Phase 3 Advisory Services and registered principal with Royal Alliance Associates in Buffalo Grove. And John, what do you make of what you're seeing on the markets today?
Well, Jennifer, today buying is back in vogue after yesterday's sell-off, so we do have this bounce, partly due to some earnings announcements, positive from HCA Healthcare and United Technologies, some excitement over what might be coming from Apple and Advanced Micro Devices. We have 3M on the downside, but it's not enough to pull the Dow down or pull the market down. And really what we have here is a snapback rally from yesterday's steep sell-off. Yesterday's sell-off was on higher volume. Today's rally is on lower volume, so the rally is suspect at this point in time.
You mentioned earnings. Anything that you found surprising among those reporting?
No, nothing really surprising. 3M once again didn't beat 10th time over the last 3 years, so it's kind of an interesting season. We're dealing right now with what we have in our temperature in Chicago right now, hovering right at 32 degrees. We're not really cooling off anymore. We're not getting hot. Last year's earnings were really flat. We're down maybe 1.9% at the worst end. We might be down 1.5% by the time this season is over. And so what we're really doing is we're looking forward to this next year. What is 2020 going to be? It does look like there will be an increase in earnings, but it's really quite a wide range between 5 and 10% on consensus of where the earnings will be, and that's really the critical thing now. So the market's probably going to struggle with this level at this point in time.
So yesterday's sell-off was blamed mostly on uncertainty over the coronavirus and exactly what's going to go on. Do you see that as what's behind it? And the reason I'm asking is because we've had several analysts say we've been due for some sort of a pullback for a while now.
Yeah, so the market has definitely been vulnerable to a pullback. We've had a really nice run. Last year's rally was entirely multiple expansion. As I mentioned, no increase in earnings. So if the market goes up, you got multiple expansion, and it was a nice rally. So the market was vulnerable. Coronavirus just happened to be the trigger. And as your earlier guest, Andrew Bush, mentioned, historically, the impact from these viral outbreaks tends to be limited in time and in scope, so we'll have to see on this one.
Now, I know,
Today,
well, I was going to say, we're not traders, we're investors, of course, but does a sell-off like that create any opportunities?
Yeah, it does, but not yet, because, again, the valuations are on the high side, so I'd be looking for something else. Today's durable good orders were just so-so. It was positive, but mostly due to military spending, and consumer confidence is very strong, but the consumer is carrying this market on its back, and that we eventually have to get business coming to the party and participating in this. So I would wait to be a buyer at this point in time.
This week, what should we expect on the economic front, and is there something we should be paying special attention to?
So what I would watch what's going on with volume every day, because that's really going to give a clue. If you haven't rebalanced, this is a great time to rebalance. And if you have some profits there that you haven't snagged, I would snag those profits and get some money on the sideline, and I would really watch for a pullback. And where the surprise is going to come from, don't know. Is it going to come from the coronavirus? Is it going to come from the Fed? We are expecting no action from the Fed this week. I would be patient at this point in time and let the market come to you. On average, every year, the market puts in about a 10% pullback some point in time in the year. So I would be patient at this point in time. I don't know what the trigger will be that will give us that buying opportunity.
Always good to have your take on things. Thank you, John Beaver, president of Phase 3 Advisory Services, also registered principal with Royal Alliance Associates.
Up next,